we're seeing a wave of Canadian players hitting the National Football League, the likes of which we have never seen before.
I've been the one, see, they've been a two. Yeah, if you play with me, I bet that you lose.
Getting free is Joshua Palmer. And finally, something good happens for the Chargers.
Brown is in. Touchdown, Cincinnati.
I don't pick and choose, now I'm always ready.
Chuba Hubbard, he's in the end zone. It's a Panther touchdown.
Cause I've been a warrior, I've been a one.
A pick for Sidney Brown. And Sidney Brown's got room. Now he's upfield. He goes all the way for the Eagles touchdown.
Yeah, we coming.
With enough elite Canadian talent in the NFL to fill almost all 22 positions on offense and defense, our team of NFL experts have constructed a path to an all-Canadian NFL roster. Yesterday, we began revealing that path by taking a look at who would start on offense, and we continue today by switching to the other side of the ball. Here's the defense on the path to an all-Canadian NFL team. At safety, known for his hard hits all over the field, Sidney Brown. At safety, one of the NFL's best ball hawks and second leading tackler on the Miami Dolphins the past 3 seasons, Jevon Holland. At corner, now entering his 4th NFL season, once the top international recruit to the NCAA, Benjamin St-Juste. At corner, he moved from U-Sport to the NCAA to the Chargers, Dean Leonard. At linebacker, he is Mr. Versatility for the Arizona Cardinals, Jesse Luketa. At linebacker, he was a teammate of Chuba Hubbard, both with the Alberta provincial team and at Oklahoma State, Eamon Ogbongbemiga. At linebacker, he played meaningful snaps as a rookie on the NFL's best defense last season in Baltimore, Tavius Robinson. At edge, he's climbed his way as an undrafted free agent all the way from the Ivy League to the NFL, Michael Hecht. At defensive tackle, he went from off the college football map to a 3rd-round selection, Nathan Shepard. At defensive tackle, he was one of the most highly recruited high school players ever from Canada, Neville Gallimore. And at defensive end, now in his 11th season, the senior member of our NFL Team Canada, Brent Urban. I'm now joined by fellow TSN NFL reporter Farhan Lalji to take a more in-depth look at the defense of our All-22 NFL Team Canada football roster. Farhan, what stands out to you about this side of the ball?
Well, Dave, how can you not love the defensive secondary? And we look at players like Jevon Holland and Sidney Brown at safety. I think Holland is developing into one of the best safeties in the NFL. He could be an all-pro this year. And then even at corner, you've got guys like Benjamin St-Juste with Washington. You've got Dean Leonard with the Chargers. 3 of those 4 players in the secondary were primary starters for their team a year ago. And we didn't see a lot of this until our colleague Davis Sanchez broke that barrier about 20 years ago, but now you've got guys that can move and cover some of the elite receivers.
And one of the reasons we may not have seen as many Canadians in the secondary in the past was there were questions about whether they had the instincts to play there. And, I remember when Sidney Brown was coming to the draft last year, he was being described by analysts as an instinctual safety. And I thought at the time, I said, boy, that's an area where it once seemed that Canadians always fell short. But not anymore. Now let's talk about the front 7. One thing I notice here is we may not have such star power on this part of our NFL Team Canada roster, but we do have some great depth and versatility. Players such as Jesse Luketa and Eamon Ogbongbemiga, guys who play special teams. But give me someone on that front 7, Farhan, that you'd be excited about seeing on our All-22 NFL Canada defense.
Well, I love Michael Hecht, the defensive end / linebacker with the Rams. And when you look at his path, he went back and forth between Canada and the United States during his formative years, right through high school, spent his last 2 high school seasons in the U.S., then went to Brown in the Ivy League. And when he got taken in the 2nd round of the 2020 draft in the CFL, I don't think anybody was really concerned that they would lose him to the NFL. He gets signed as an undrafted free agent and then just grinded his way through onto the practice roster, eventually played, has a Super Bowl ring, and now he's not just a rush player. He drops out into coverage with some linebacker responsibility, so he can do a lot, and I think he's going to have a long career in the NFL.
I'm looking for big things this season from Tavius Robinson, who is going into his second season as an edge rusher for the Baltimore Ravens after being a fourth-round pick in 2022. Robinson is a great story. From Guelph, played at the University of Guelph, but when COVID shut down U Sport football, he transferred to the University of Mississippi, and the next thing you know, he's sacking Joe Burrow in prime time. Definitely a player I will be keeping my eye on this season.
Yeah, and we should also mention that a few players have gone through the CFL before getting to the NFL on the defensive side of the ball. You're looking at defensive back Tevon Campbell with Jacksonville, Lual Uguak, who spent a year with Montreal before going to Tampa Bay right now, and then also Matthew Betts, who was the top Canadian player last year in the CFL, led the league in sacks, is now with the Detroit Lions. Head coach Dan Campbell gave him some love earlier in the week. So, again, a lot of different ways to get to that endpoint.
Canada has some ball hawks on defense that will make some game-changing plays in the NFL, certainly this coming season.